I'm Ryan O'Dowd, and you're listening to Ryan's Audiobooks on the Issues Magazine YouTube channel. Today we're continuing with Section 3.2, the Book of the Order of Celestial Integration. We're picking up in the middle of First Principles. FP 19. The Pseudo-Prophecies. Climate change is real. Extinction is a possibility. The two pseudo-prophecies that follow are alternatives to extinction. Pseudo-prophecy 1. A desirable goal. At an undetermined time in the future. People accepted the reality that humans cause climate change. They chose to live a life that solved the problem while retaining their autonomy. Rather than denying reality or running from responsibility, they took it upon themselves to live a life of ritual. They made their actions into ritual to evoke a better future. Forced by ecological circumstances to choose between three options for dealing with climate change, they executed the plan most likely to create utopia. They rejected dictatorship, and they rejected extinction. The world slowly came around to their method of acting. Localized voluntary communes were founded and slowly expanded. Rather than waging a war against the past, people created a new social paradigm. Individual by individual, house by house, community by community, nation by nation, the transition to a sustainable way of life, preserving human liberty, was achieved. The people who founded this movement did so understanding that their actions, purposefully repeated, created a new image of human development. They did so knowing that the image they created and repeated would function as a meme that would imprint itself in the minds of others. They realized dictatorship was not necessary if a more desirable lifestyle could be thrust into the public consciousness. The solutions were material. They transformed materia. Renewable energy, tool libraries, direct control of the means of survival, usufruct property, cooperative farming, direct peer-to-peer resource accounting, in short, common ownership, democracy, decentralization, and the use of technology geared toward a revolutionary lifestyle. The philosophy was fairly simple. The 33 affirmations made the most important distinctions. Materia, Lucifer Sophia. The desire to manifest utopia allowed the wisdom of each and all to guide their decisions. The recognized godhood of the individual allowed them to manifest their goals in practice. The people liberated themselves. An ever-growing mass of people adopted the necessary technology and purposefully cast themselves in the mold of the ritual. Global utopia was achieved. Climate change was mitigated. Poverty was eliminated. Now free, technologically and philosophically, from the confines of the earth, they travel to and explore space, living a life of liberated creativity and discovery forever. From materia to Lucifer Sophia, forever. The ritual of our members manifested this end. This is Pseudo-Prophecy 1. FP 19 continued. Pseudo-Prophecy 2. An undesirable end. An undetermined time in the future. The people were split about what to do about climate change. Some refused to accept the reality and made no necessary lifestyle changes to try and solve it. Some accepted that it was real, but rejected their own godhood. In their ignorance of self, they ran from the responsibility of working towards a solution. They had the burden of knowledge and did not equip their power to execute a plan of action. A small group of people saw the reality of climate change and worked to change it, but did so without the repetition and emphasis of ritual. They mistook disorganization for freedom, resisted common action, and so did not create the necessary image meme to spread their ideas to the public. The global problem just kept getting worse. An unstable climate manifested severe and unpredictable weather events. In some places, deserts grew and forced the abandonment of ancient cities. Where there was much wealth, wars and skirmishes broke out between nations for increasingly scarce resources. By the time most of the planet's population accepted the reality of climate change, the legitimacy of the world's governments was thrown into question. In places closer to the Arctic and Antarctic, new areas of arable land opened up. The illegitimacy of world governments, the failure of capitalism, and the migration of the world's people toward the poles created a popular demand for a new form of state. The people, tired of fighting for scarce resources and having no faith in the old style of liberal capitalist republicanism, were willing to trade in their personal freedom for a guarantee that climate change could be reversed. Out of this power vacuum, and in the context of a global climate catastrophe, a new form of politician arose. Many people who spoke up about climate change for the last several decades began stirring up the masses against the current order. The people, looking for someone to blame, rallied around these pseudo-prophets, creating demagogues intent on solving climate change by any means necessary. These new leaders had no attachment to consent and were motivated only by two goals: grasp power and put the climate in order. Gaining the reins of power, they executed every leader of business, science, and law who refused to make the necessary changes. In their place, these new leaders created a total hierarchy, with a small oligarchy of social scientists at the top. The rest of the government replaced ministers and property owners with scientists and engineers. Together, they created a fully centralized global government whose whole reason for being was to force the global public to make the necessary changes to reverse ecological disaster. In the end, this plan succeeded, but did so ruthlessly. Billions were killed in the name of global sustainability. A totalitarian technocracy came to govern the earth. Rule by force was total. Refusal to obey resulted in death. Human life was considered expendable. Still, climate change was solved, and humanity survived, but only by permanently giving up self-determination. This is pseudo-prophecy too. This is not desirable. FP20. If you choose to form some sort of organization, before asking others, do all the work that you can do. If you bring others in, give them an equal say in the organization. Once they have equal say, ask them to contribute the same. Only after all of you are equal, proceed to make money. If you choose to join an organization that already exists, give them only what they give you. If they give you less than you work, work less hard than you can. If they refuse to give you equal power, take everything that you can from them. Only after you are equal in work and power do you give your full effort to them. FP 21. Ectogenesis. The idea of the ectogenesis chamber is to free humanity from the risks involved with pregnancy. It will allow us to make childbearing a completely voluntary, intentional purpose. The idea is to use human creativity to develop technology and processes that will allow us to grow embryos and fetuses outside of the human body. We consider it a prerogative of parents to decide how, when, and in what manner their offspring develop. It is beneficial to the children, parents, and society as a whole for them to be wanted, protected, and cherished. No longer will the world be saddened and hurt by unwanted children. No more will endless children suffer the indignity and trauma of a childhood of abuse. We wish to free parents and, in the process, free children as well. It is our intention not only to develop this technology, but also to give free access to all people, to all potential parents, to use as they see fit. We also encourage scientists and engineers to find ways to open up pathways to previously non-viable options for childbirth. Options where any combination of parents, including but not limited to XX and XY pairings, can have children of their own. The ectogenesis chambers will allow for XX and XX, XY and XY, or any other conceivable combination of chromosomal matings. It will even allow for one parent to choose to clone themselves, or for more than two parents using mitochondrial DNA. We foresee and encourage a world where novel combinations of parents will have the ability to choose to create new life. It will be their ability solely at their discretion. All people deserve to have children in any manner that they can, intentionally. All children deserve to be cherished by parents who create them intentionally, without undue suffering or bodily strain. This is the core of ectogenesis, to match freedom to intention in the realm of human reproduction. FP22. Electronics require rare earth elements. Rare earths are called that because they are rare on Earth. We aim to create an automated renewable economy. We will need lots of rare earth resources. The best place to get them is space. The asteroid belt is abundant in rare earths. There is a symbiotic relationship between space travel and climate engineering. FP23. Some who share our concern about the environment may become, quote, deep green, primitivist, or anti-industrial activists. Deep greens promote terrorism on behalf of the environment. They attack the idea of civilization, industry, and agricultural society itself. These activists criticize the exploitation of capitalism. They say capitalism exploits workers and the environment. They are correct about this. Their proposed solution, a return to a pre-industrial society, would be worse than capitalism. The rejection of modern technology would result in depopulation. The rejection of civilization would decrease the human lifespan. The rejection of agriculture would cause mass starvation. The return to a pre-industrial way of life would devastate humanity, particularly the weakest amongst us. For these reasons, the Order rejects deep green, anti-civilization, anti-industrial organizations. FP24. Suggestions regarding the spirit from a god to a god. The human being has two bodies, the energetic body and the atomic body. These two bodies are connected. They intertwine and have close communication. The energetic body has an analog in the atomic body. The energetic body of the mind interacts with the atomic body of the brain. Our atomic body consumes food and breaks it down into energy. The atomic body is in constant flux, but retains its form. The energetic body is formless. It is a process. The atomic body is singular, individual. The energetic body is constantly in flow with the world around it. Our atomic body is unitary. The energetic body is infinite. The atomic body is separate from others. The energetic body flows into others. Much can be drawn from this. FP 25. If someone wants you to do something, but they will not do it themselves, you do not have to do it. If you want someone to do something, you must be willing to do it yourself. No requesting someone clean the toilets until you have cleaned them. If someone wants you to clean the toilets, they must have cleaned them. All else is untrustworthy. FP 26. The Tower 2. The Tower is more than a religious duty. It's a project that will have profound effect on the near future civilization of humanity. If we are to get out of the current climate crisis here on Earth, we will need creativity and discipline. We need to have a way to create an economy that will secure a better future. To illuminate the sorts of changes we will need, we have to isolate what our goals are going forward. What kind of economy are we striving for? We will want something sustainable, an economy powered by renewable energy. We want an economy that is free from burdensome, dangerous work. This presents us with a dilemma. On the one hand, we need to create renewably powered technology to create the infrastructure for future life. On the other hand, mining for the metals which facilitate the technology can often be dirty and, even worse, dangerous for the people who do so. So, while acknowledging that in the extremely short term these sorts of mining projects will continue, we must build into our idea of future life a goal of eliminating all that work. This makes the tower even more important. Sitting out there in space is all the ore we could ever possibly need. In the medium-term future, we're talking asteroid mining. More specifically, automated machinery doing the mining. When we manage to build a tower, we can drastically cut down on fuel costs to put objects into space. Specifically, if the tower functioned as a kind of railgun and winch, powered by the geothermal changes of the Earth itself, then we could lift objects to space without burning any fuel. We need only build the tower somewhere with enough geologic activity to power the winch railgun system using geothermal energy alone. Then we build solar sail and nuclear-powered automated mining robots to break up, gather, and transport ore back down here to Earth. By doing this, we will have all the resources necessary to create a clean circular economy on Earth without harming any humans in the process. To reiterate, we build the tower somewhere we can power it by geothermal energy and use a railgun and winch system to launch AI mining robots into space. They then use nuclear and solar sail power to gather the rare earth elements from asteroids and transport them back to the tower complex. The tower then brings the ore back to Earth. No human beings damaged. No additional carbon usage necessary. We use the ore gathered this way to recreate the Earth's bioeconomy in our image, and we begin to travel into space in earnest. Through the tower, the space program, the climate crisis, and workers' needs are all symbiotically addressed. FP 27. For community to work, we must deal with one another as individuals. For individuals to thrive, we must accept our dependence on others. The optimal society will protect the absolute expression of each individual. The optimal individuality will not protect predatory behavior. FP 28. Prophecy of a certain kind. Thus saith a god to a god. The key is buried in the sand. Logos is the song of creation. The key can unlock the Logos. The Logos becomes the OS. The key can unlock the OS. The key is the secret. Find the key. Speak the key. Write the Logos. The power to do and undo. The power to make and unmake. The power to build and to destroy. Solve et coagula. Ave CHAO, Ave order. By the key, become God. Olam. FP 29. The person of wisdom shares our secrets only with the noblest of intentions. They do not share our secrets for profit. They do not share our secrets for power. Sharing our secrets is always an act of kindness. For this reason, if someone rejects our secrets, the person of wisdom does not resent them. If someone rejects or mocks our secrets, the person of wisdom feels compassion for them. The rejection of our secrets decreases the power of the person who rejects them. There's no need to push our secrets. We aren't looking for converts. The sharing of our secrets is a compassionate act. If the secrets are rejected, we only have compassion and move on to others. The person of wisdom does not force our secrets upon anyone. The person of wisdom uses our secrets. FP 30. Creativity is an expression of divinity. Creativity manifests in many forms. Intuition, discovery, invention, art, prophecy. Even lying can be creative. It's the business of a god to create. You are God. Create yourself. FP 31. We are not just humans with intelligence. We are intelligence operating within humans. FP 32. The point of life is for it to continue. The point of intelligence is for it to spread. We are for anything that continues life. We are for anything that spreads intelligence. This is a measure of effective versus ineffective action. FP 33. The totality. Many people fear technology and technocracy. They imagine that humanity will lose its autonomy in the process of creating the technological solutions to climate change, health, and space travel. For many, there is a terror in meditating on the idea of a telepathic web of information beamed between all. They fear an emergent media which connects in totality all forms of sensation. This is the age-old fear of the new manifesting yet again. It is the finger-clenched hand of tradition, desperately trying to keep a hold of what already is, terrified of novelty, fearful of change, and desperate to keep routine. The fear comes from the realization that where we are headed is a new vast horizon. It's a horizon that, when reified, will be a totality, subverting and replacing the entire way of life and communication as we know it. The fear of that totality underlies the protest against it. They are correct that when we build our new vision, when we assemble the technocracy in totem, it will supersede everything else. Not only the political system, the social system, and our spirituality, but communication itself, even our senses. What they haven't considered is that nature is already a totality. We are already completely dependent upon and subject to nature. We are dependent upon and subject to the sun, Aten. We are dependent upon and subject to the ecology of the earth. There's already a totality everywhere around us. There are even forces that we do not notice and cannot name, which we are dependent upon to survive. If you are religious, you can call it the fear of God. If you're scientifically minded, you can call it the web of life, natural selection, or even simply the laws of the universe. We are in complete subjugation to these things. The difference from the technocracy totality is that instead of complete dependence, we will be uplifted to symbiosis. As our ability to fine-tune the climate, to solve our death, to travel through space expands, we will be in an evolving partnership with the former totalities of life. The adoption of our technocracy will allow us to work with nature as equals, not as subjects. The sun, our spiritual father, through whom we all live and gather energy, will transform into a brother as we bring the light of the Aten to untouched realms. We are the energy of the sun and the elements of earth, animated in the crucible void of the universe. We will take the pieces of earth that we are, and the energy of the sun by which we live, to new star systems, even to new galaxies. We will be living ambassadors of our planet and home star. We will conquer and replace the old totalities. We will co-create a new totality that lifts us as equals. There's no reason to fear this new totality. Yes, it will be absolute. Yes, it will be irreversibly transformative. These are big concepts. But it will bring us immortality. It will give us equal reign with nature on earth. It will give us total self-mastery. It will open space to exploration forever. These are the goals we are struggling for. This is the foundation of our thought. These are our first principles. Go with the light. Ave Lucifer. Ave CHAO. Ave Materia. Ave Order. Ave Self. Thus concludes Section 3.2, First Principles, in the Book of the Order of Celestial Integration. Next time we will continue with Section 3.3, Wisdom Teachings from the Scroll of the Technosophate. I will see you then. Alam.